Coach, I'm glad I could be here today. I'm actually from Portland, down in Portland the last 10 years, and I'm skipping mine. We're Induction High School, our Hall of Fame tonight. I'm skipping that because I love Coach Walsh, or Coach Conn. I wanted to say hi. There's a couple guys down here that I played with. Jesse Farrar talked about nicknames, Coach. We called him E5, talk about a vote of confidence. E5 was our third baseman, he worked his butt off. So I feel bad, I've always felt sorry that we did that. And you know, Anthony, I know he called him that. Anthony Wade, first time, he's the person that gave me my first ego check. I showed up my junior year, and I was a middle infielder, and Coach Conn gave me a brand new mitt, and I was like, Coach, thanks, appreciate that. But this is the first baseman's mitt. And he said, well, Anthony Wade throws left, you know, or throws right, bats left, got a sweet swing, and you're moving to first base. So, all I knew about first base was Adam Janicki over here. He was, you know, he could do the splits, and he was a center on the football team. And I'm like, I was a pretty good athlete, I thought, and I'm going to first base. And so what the heck? But Coach Conn, not very many coaches play college football, and I got to play for a lot of them, but I've never had a coach who loved me as much, or loved the community as much, or cared as much for me personally, my family. And I think we could all say that. You can look over here, and there's 50 people over here from Woolley who just came down from Coach Conn, and I think it's, you know, I cannot, his family, with Bev, and I mean, it's just, I can't believe it. And I think the biggest compliment I could give him is he's a baseball guy, and I think what that means to me, I'm a football guy. They tell me I have short memory. I was a quarterback, threw a lot of picks, so you have short memory. He has the best memory in the world, and he can tell you, if you've ever heard Coach Conn speak, I mean, I can tell a story about, I was 3-2 count, I hit a double offense, and then you can remember the story when I was playing against Anacortes, bottom of 7. I hit a ball off the wall, and I was excited, and then I got thrown out of third because Anthony rolled over a breaking ball to shortstop, and I went to third base and got thrown out of third, and it was bottom 7. Anthony went on to win that game, but I remember that play like I think about that all the time. And you know, that was a quick story for me, but if you heard Coach Conn tell the story, he'd say, well, Tygue, when he was a sophomore, he got up and he gets in, he got to get his hands in, and, you know, he's playing the pitcher, and he throws it from right here, you know, those 12-6 curveballs come to the top, and, you know, he fought it off, and then his junior year, he had a similar at bat, and it was against Burlington, and it was the bottom of the third, and he started off with 2 curveballs, and the 2 curveballs on the dirt, so he sat fastball a couple times, and he would just go on, and then at the end of the story, he'd say, you know, then he rolled up, then it would be the same story. But Coach Conn's great storytelling, that's a baseball guy. When I say baseball guy, that's Coach Conn. But I also say baseball guy is all the things that this award stands for, and this association stands for. Man of integrity, character, and I think if I could take it to the next level, I'd say what he did is he's raised a couple of baseball guys and gals, or in Jackson, probably. And so I think, I remember one time I came home, stopped by on the way home to their house, and the Mariners playing. I don't want to admit this, but I said, hey, how many points the Mariners have? And Jackson looked at me and he said, it was like he found out Santa Claus exists. He said, those are runs, Tygue. He was so disappointed. And Jackson is the same way. He's taken on a lot of those same characteristics. And Jackson, if you talk to him, he takes after his dad so much. He's now telling stories like his dad. He's a baseball guy, man of character, man of integrity. And I wanted to finish. Bev sent me an email that somebody had sent Brad when he found out he was going to be recognized with this, and it's I'm just going to read a part of it, and I think it sums up why he's getting this award. It says, I am not sure if the powers that bestow this honor consider other qualities when recognizing him. Do they understand the man behind the actions? Is it considered that he was kind, that he honors his family and friends, that all students, not just his players, admire his integrity, that staff and administrators nod knowingly when your name is mentioned as the go-to man, that your humor and your personality will lighten any situation, no matter how serious? I don't know if they did, but know this, we know. We're honored to have you here at SWHS, your Cub Strong. And I think he's the favorite coach best coach I've ever had. I played for a lot of coaches, unfortunately, in college that got turned over, and he is over the top, the best guy. And I think the one thing that I know about this honor is that we're recognizing him with us, but I don't think there's anybody that will honor this award more than Coach Conn. I know it's a huge deal for him, and I just want to say congratulations, and it's very deserving. So.
So I worked on the speech, so I could talk about my folks at the beginning, and my kids at the end, and I had a puncher's chance not to cry. And then Tygue does that. And the other side of it is he played in the All-State game at first base. So that I will tell you. So thanks, bud. I appreciate that. Isn't baseball great? This is the greatest thing.
Yeah.
So first off, I'd like to congratulate Coach Lawson. I mean, you read his bio. He's forgotten more baseball than I'll ever know, and so it's an honor to be forever on that plaque down there together. Coach McDougal, the baseball world is small. He played a year of college baseball at Green River with my best man, and so that makes the world a little small. Here's a story about Todd and I. I was a first-year coach at Skagit as assistant coach, and he was a first-year coach at Olympia. He calls me and he says, "Hey, I got a left-handed pitcher you're going to want." And this is great. This is how it works. We know guys. This is how it works. And so I go to Anacortes to watch him play, and I think the kid throws pretty good, and he can get guys out out of the bullpen. And I'm thinking, well, this is one of my first guys. And so afterwards, I introduced myself to the kid. And he has a distinct accent. And so I talked to the kid and give him some information. I go, "Todd, what's with the accent?" He goes, "He's Russian." I go, "He's Russian?" "Yeah, he's an exchange student." I go, "Well, can he stay in our country and play college baseball?" And he just went, "I don't know." I don't know. And I says, "Well, mental note, I got to write those type of questions down." That kid would be afraid that it's not Russian. I got to ask those type of questions. But we worked it out. We went to that old A&W in Anacortes and had root beer and burgers, and it was a great day. And the kid from Russia didn't play for us. But the last thing on Todd is, I created a monster at Sedro-Woolley High School, and we have team T-shirts every year. I have to create these logos, and we have sayings in the back. Tradition never graduates. Fearless by choice, not by chance. And we have all these shirts, and this year's shirt's attitude and effort. The back of our shirt this year. So thank Todd when you wear that shirt, guys. So I'm going to begin my speech by letting you know that everything great in my life has started with the words "we" and "together," and the stuff that's not is "I" and "alone." And when writing the speech, it's just a microcosm of how lucky I've been, how great things with "we" and "together" and "us" have been to me, and that's why I gravitated, I think, to team sport. That, and when my dad told me that wrestling wasn't WW wrestling and there was no ropes, I knew I wasn't going to be a wrestler. I thought that was really cool when I was young. He also pointed out that I'd have to wrestle adult males because how big I was. That was kind of tough for me to grasp too. So when I did my speech here, I hope you can visually see how important "we" and "together" and team has been for me. First off, I want to thank my parents. Dave and Betty Jo, can you stand up, please, so people can see you? So like many of us, my folks taught me everything I know, and our staff at Sedro-Woolley can tell you that I plagiarize them every day. I tell my kids stuff at school every day that they taught me. They told me, importantly, they taught me how to be responsible and how to be accountable and how to be a man of your word and how those are important things to be. They also showed me, not only told me, they showed me the importance of hard work. Okay, they worked 40 hours a week and they worked 8 hours a day, and they went to work every day because you're supposed to. Okay, not because you were afraid of not getting your paycheck, but they would go to work every day because you're going to let your coworker down and your company needed you. Okay, and I saw that every day at my house. My dad made everything a competitive situation for me. Okay, and he showed me the value of competition. He challenged me to be as good as I could be all the time. He'd come home from pouring steel, and we'd go in the yard and throw me wiffle balls. And we go pitch in the backyard, and my teammates can appreciate this. He used to put a pitchfork in the ground when it was pitching day in the backyard, and I'd stand next to it, and he'd put a strike zone, put a rag where the strike zone is, and he'd sit down there and catch me. And you think, dude, nerds, you think your strike zone was tight? Okay. Because oftentimes there was a kind of a negative reinforcement if you walk guys, because good pitchers don't walk guys. Okay? Good pitchers don't walk guys. And he would catch me, and he had to be tired, and he'd catch me, and then I got like 8, 9, 10, I got better, and all of a sudden I remember a night I threw the ball right down the middle. And he said, ball. I go, ball? He goes, good pitchers don't throw balls there either. Okay. And so it was a great lesson that it's just you can't have it both ways. And so my mom, on the other hand, would show me that make sure I get through this here. That the value of working with young people and making them feel welcome, and also that that putting others before you can be so satisfying, because she did that every day of her life. Okay, she put somebody before her every day of her life. And now, when it came to sports, I found out that she'd go to all the games, she'd root me on, but she didn't necessarily know all the rules. Okay, Tygue, she didn't know they were runs, but she knew they were runs after losses. Okay, she was good enough not to call them points after we got beat. But she also knew that when guys in my uniform touched that weird shaped base, that was good. Okay, and that was enough. Okay, because you felt home. Okay, and a great example of this is Bob Hellinger, who's with the Mariners here, and we get to play at Safeco with my Cub team, and we get to come down to the owner's box. And so I took my mom this year to the owner's box, and there was 30 people in the box, and it was a wonderful evening. And at the end of the evening, I come back from the restroom, and she's getting, the hostess is throwing all this memorabilia in a bag for my mom, like Edgar Martinez train and some hats and stuff, and then she's hugging the hostess, and Bob looked at me like, what is this? I go, well, she's gonna hug you too. Okay? He goes, did you put her up to this? I go, no, this is what she does. Okay, and so there's a ton of people that are my friends here who will tell you that they felt welcome in our house all the time. Go, thank you very much for everything.
You're very welcome.
George Dewey, will you stand up, please? So that's George Dewey. He's the first Larry Linville Award winner. Okay, and so George, I first met George in 1980. There was assembling a 13-year-old Babe Ruth All-Star team, and they gave him a few guys to get, and he brought me on the team, and that's where our relationship started. And I was thinking, I don't think I've seen more baseball with anybody else in the world than George Dewey. Okay, and he has guided me through tough times in my life. He's kept me grounded during the good times, and I want to thank you for everything you've done. Jim Clem was my high school coach. Can you stand up? Okay, Jim Clem of Burlington. So he was there when all the coaching thing first started. I made the varsity as a freshman, and we played defunct Shoreline High School at the state tournament. I was driving down to pick my son up yesterday, and I drove by that park in Renton, and it kind of reminded me of this moment. This is when the coaching thing started. We got beat, and it was about an hour, almost an hour into the trip back home, and he calls me up at the front, and I'm thinking, well, now I've done something here, and I did something wrong on this deal. And he goes, hey, what do you think of the game? And I gave some superficial 15-year-old answer, and he goes, no. What did you think of the game? Okay, and we're sitting seat by seat, and so I told him some stuff, and then he started to tell me what he thought of the game, and that's kind of where it started, where our relationship. He's had 1 million baseball players, and I'm suspecting our relationship's different than most because of those talks. And ironically, my other favorite talk with him came after another loss. My last game as a senior, we played up at Joe's, and it was late, and we get back, and we sat in the coach's office, and I've told him this before. I bet we sat in there till 1 in the morning, and it was like two old college roommates who were kind of hanging on to every last minute together, and we talked about my future. He was a brand new dad, and we talked about his, and it was special. I'm sure they were worried sick, but it was really special. The other neat thing is I made the Legion team as a freshman, and my folks wouldn't let me drive with Frizzell and Saunders to games. Sorry guys, they were nervous about you then, a little. And so I had to ride with JC, and every ride home was that way. It was just talking about the game, and where that ball should have been thrown, and we should have held that runner better, and we should have, it just, and it was give and take. He wanted my opinion as much as I hunted for his. And so those 4 years together were pretty influential for me. And you showed me how to be, how to talk to my players and how to run a program, and you're like a big brother. You mean a lot to me. So if you were ever a teammate of mine, please stand up. If you were ever a teammate of mine, please stand up. Avoid that. Okay. These are some of the greatest guys. I'm an only child. These are like brothers to me. Okay, these are really like brothers to me, and like uncles to my kids. And you guys need to know that I loved every pitch. I loved every inning. I loved everything we ever did. When you guys talk about how great Skagit Valley baseball is and how tough the players are, okay, these are the pioneers. Okay, these are why you say that. Okay, these are some of the best players of the 80s. That went through Skagit Valley, and I love being your teammate, and I hunted being the best one you ever had. That mattered so much to me. Okay, thank you for coming here today. Jim Hosick, can you stand up, please, Jim? Okay, so Jim Hosick was my freshman baseball coach at Burlington, and after I left Burlington, I went on and played a couple years for him at Skagit, and we had run one really good year and one other year. And then after that, I went to go play at Central, and I just couldn't pitch anymore. I couldn't play anymore, and I came back, and I was in that transition time. I wasn't really sure what I should be doing, and he asked me to be his assistant coach, and that's when I learned everything. I learned so much during that time. He let me make mistakes. He let me come up with practice plans. He let me try drills. I mean, I still think that double BP thing we did was kind of cool, but dangerous as heck. But it was kind of cool, and so he just let me grow, let me budget, let me recruit, he let me schedule. He let me coach third for the first time, and so it was. I learned so many great things there. Two things I really learned is I learned that no matter how hard you work, and hard work is rewarding, you're not always guaranteed to be rewarded by hard work, and you need to be okay with that. You need to just keep working. I learned that because we worked really hard at Skagit during that time, and had we been coaching there now, we'd have been in the playoffs every year under this new format, and it was just hard. It was hard to get through Evans and Bellevue. Okay, and we worked so hard, and we were so close. And the other thing I learned, that if I ever had my own field, it would be the greatest place in the world to play, because boy, we played on a bad field in Skagit. Okay, and if you ever go to Cub Ballpark, you'll know what I'm saying. It's special. Okay, and so I've missed seeing you over the last 18 years. I'm glad you're here today, though. Okay, thanks for everything. Okay, if I work with you at Sedro-Woolley High School or in the school district, can you please stand up? Come on, there's a few of you. Okay. So here's the support I get at Sedro-Woolley High School. We have blue and white days on Friday, and everyone's kind of got their gear. And if you look at our staff, I bet 75% of our shirts are Sedro-Woolley baseball shirts. Okay, and it's our staff is awesome. There's a lot of educators in this room, former educators. Okay, these guys do a great job. Okay, for what they do to our kids. Okay, they really do a good job. And okay, everyone sit down but Daryl. Okay, so that's Daryl. Okay, Daryl Heiser was the principal in '98 when I got there, and he was hustling. Okay, because I had a lot of anxiety about coming to Sedro-Woolley. A lot of I just wasn't sure. Okay, there wasn't a great history there, and they were kind of chewing up some coaches then. And he calls me in his office and he says to me, "Okay, what's your apprehension? Okay, what's going on here?" I go, "Well, frankly, I'm just worried about the stability part of it." He goes, "You're the stability part of it. We're going to let you coach. Okay, we're just going to let you go. Okay, this is a great place with great people. Okay, And you were right, so thanks for hustling. Yeah. I said we get to play here at Safeco, and the first year we got to play down here, I bet there was 800, 1,000 people here watching our game, and one of the grounds crews was sitting there, and they said, God, I've never seen somebody travel this many people. I go, we're Nebraska. Okay, it's 1980s, it's the Orange Bowl, we're Nebraska. Okay, we travel. Okay, and that's what we got. Okay, that's what we have at Sedro-Woolley. The people that stood up, you need to know that I brag to my parents all the time, because you guys hold our kids accountable. Okay, you challenge them every day, and you put them before you most of the time. Okay, so you need to know how much I appreciate working with you guys. Okay, thank you for being here today. My players, okay, if you play for me, or did play for me, can you stand up, please? So my son goes, which one do I stand up for? All right, you can sit down, guys. Thanks. You guys, the green sweater guys, you need to know how awesome it would be for you to coach these guys. These guys are the best guys. Okay, they're the best guys. Okay, they are how high can they jump guys. Okay. Real quick, if you were in school my very first year there, my first couple of years there, will you stand up? Okay, there's a handful of those guys 100 years old. Okay, first of all, these two guys are dudes. Okay, so what you need to know about these guys is I was their third coach in 4 years. Okay, they watched me show up there with complete blind faith when they could have easily had false hope. Okay, they had complete blind faith that this is the guy, because up until now they haven't had the guy. Okay, and they bought into everything we sold them. Okay, and they were good players. Okay, they were good players. They just needed some organization, they just needed somebody to care a bunch. Okay, and we made the playoffs after 3 playoffs in 50 years at Sedro-Woolley. We made it our first 2 years, and they gave us the credibility that we needed to keep building that thing. Okay, so I thank you guys for that complete buy-in. Another thing you would see about Sedro-Woolley baseball program that I find the best, and it really came to light, we had an alumni game about 3 years ago. We had nearly 50 guys there, and there is a fraternal love amongst our players. Okay, that because of the foundation that those guys built, that some of these other guys hold them in high regard. Okay, almost like they're the celebrity. Okay, there's a fraternal bond of Sedro-Woolley baseball. But I don't know if it's because they're this insane human beings yelling at them all the time, and they're like brothers in arms. But that's the coolest thing about our program. The fact that they all wore that hat matters to them. Okay, that they all play on Cub Ballpark matters to them. And I think other people have that, but I'm sure happy we do. Okay. The other thing I need to say, direct thank you to you guys, is my son was in that dugout every year that I've been there. Okay. And you guys are big brothers to him. I appreciate it. Okay? Thanks for being here today. I really appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Ooh. If you are a parent or have been a parent in my program, please stand up. Okay. You can stand up. Okay. Thank you. So when you talk to as many baseball coaches as I do, sometimes when you get a few beers in them, they can complain about their parents. Okay? They can say some negative stuff about their parent group. I am so lucky because I've been lucky to get a bunch of well wishes about today. No more well wishes than the past parents that I've had in my program. And so I just kind of listen to those stories because I don't really have many of them. The thing that I knew right away about Sedro-Woolley parents is that they work really hard. They work hard, long days up in Sedro-Woolley, and they expect your effort to be the same. Okay, and if it is, and you care for their kids, they can let you coach. Okay, and they'll side with you, like when I played for you, when coaches were kind of right. Okay, they'll side with you because you work hard and you care. Okay, and that's what I've had at Sedro-Woolley. I've heard this somewhere. The biggest honor that a person can get is to have somebody allow you to coach their kid. Okay, so I thank you for letting me part of your families, okay, and letting you share your son with me. Thank you. If you've been on my coaching staff, please stand up. Okay. Where's Night Red? Is he not standing up? There he is. Okay. So here's what's awesome about that. And here's what's awesome is everybody that is standing stood up once before. Okay, they've been part of our family, or Scott is a Hall of Famer. Okay, that's who I've had at Sedro-Woolley. Okay, and there hasn't been very many of them. Okay, they've either played for me or they've been a parent in my program. It's been fortunate. So I thank you for every second I've had with you. You guys are the best. JT's back there, Sean and Donnie, where are you at? Where's Sean and Donnie? Okay. These guys coach in my league, and they make me better every second. Okay, not only are they some of my best friends, but they make me better because they're working. Okay, they're not just rolling the balls out. The Northwest Conference has some guys in coaching that league that's good. Okay, so I want to thank you guys directly for making me better because, you know, the competition piece is so important that without you, I don't know if I would be here. So thanks for your friendship and being with me all the time. Seattle Mariners. My time with Seattle Mariners, I've been a scout for them for 5 years, and it came along at the most perfect time for me. Getting to run the Mariner fall team is like sucking pure oxygen. Okay, being around the best players in the Northwest, it's so energizing, and I appreciate everything. You know, that relationship has got this banquet here, and what they've done for my family. And so I'm proud to have a business card in my office with that logo. Okay, so I appreciate you guys' fun. To the Coaches Association, my time as your president was a labor of love. Okay, I remember sitting with Don Freeman at the banquet at the Doubletree. I was with Coach Jacobs and Coach Hertz from Gonzaga, and I was looking around the room, and I knew the names, but I didn't know really anybody in the room. And 4 years later, I was the president, and a few years later, I'm standing up in this seat looking at Virgil Taylor. Okay, and it's been humbling. It's been a true labor of love, and Groucho Marx said, I think, paraphrasing, that I wouldn't want to be part of a group that would have me as a member. He's never met you green sweater guys. Okay, I couldn't be more proud to be with you. Okay, you guys mean so much to me. And thank you for everything you've ever done for baseball. There's a group that's here, that's family and friends. You need to know that your mentor, the family and friends, what you've meant to me has been so important. I just wouldn't be here, wouldn't be the guy I am today without you. And I'm kind of at the point in my life now where I wear a lot of hats, and to my close friends that are here, that you need to know the easiest hat I wear is your friend. So I appreciate that a bunch. Yeah, I don't think I can say that word. I should have spaced these people out. Okay, my wife Beverly. Okay, she's been the face of this this banquet. The most, you know, I don't want to offend anybody, but the most supportive baseball mom you could possibly have. She knew that for this to work at Sedro-Woolley, we would have to get all the way into the deep end of the pool. We were going to get wet, and it was going to be totally involved, and she was going to have to field 1,000 calls about selling oranges. We were going to have team dinners at our house. Our family vacations were going to be in Yakima, Washington. Okay. And so that's how it was going to be, and she loves baseball more than most people I know. Now, somebody asked me the other day when I was talking about the speech, and I said, you know, I'm concerned about getting through the part about my family, and they asked me, hey, when do you know Bev was the one? And I said, well, I don't know if there was an exact moment, but I can tell you when I had an inkling. It was 1989. We were dating. We were hanging out at her house, and surprisingly, we were watching the